Yes, I know, I don't have the latest sonic screwdriver, but what are you going to do? Anyway, hello fellow Whovians. Well, it's the 25th of September 2017, and I am celebrating a special occasion. It's 10 years ago since I started watching Doctor Who, and I thought I would share with you all how I became a Whovian and what Doctor Who has meant to me in the last 10 years. I have a lot to say here, so expect a few edit cuts. Oh, there's the first cut already. Fancy that. Oh, in case you are wondering why I've suddenly changed my shirt, well, I'll get more into that later. So anyway, even though I got into Doctor Who in 2007, that is not when I first became aware of the show's existence. Oh no. I first became aware of Doctor Who in the early 90s when BBC Two was showing repeats of old classic episodes. Unfortunately, I never showed any interest in the show then for some reason, which unfortunately is something that I now regret very, 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 very deeply. Anyway, years later, in 2006, on my birthday, my mum got me a Dalek birthday cake, and it had a voice box that said, "Exterminate!" And believe it or not, I actually still have the voice box right here. I'll show it to you. Exterminate! Exterminate! It's hard to believe that 11 years later it still works. And there's also the 2005 Doctor Who logo on it. Exterminate! Yeah, it's almost like my mum could somehow foresee me becoming a Whovian. But I don't think that's what actually got me into Doctor Who, because in the summer of the following year, in 2007, my parents and I went to the National Tramway Museum in the Peak District, which is actually the place we went to in my early birthday treat video, which I uploaded onto YouTube a couple of years ago. And of course, as you can see in that video, if you have already seen it, if you haven't seen it yet, then go check it out. In fact, I'll put the link in the description below. They had a real police box there. Oh, and while I'm at it, that's actually the photo that's on my shirt. What do you think? My mum and dad did this for me for my birthday, just earlier this year, and I quite like it. Anyway, soon after that holiday, I then started checking out the Doctor Who title sequences on YouTube, and I was actually quite intrigued by the evolution of the title sequences and the theme tune. Then in September, I called to repeat of the Doctor Who episode The Sound of Drums, because Series 3 was the most recent series then. I missed half the episode, but what I saw of the second half, I was actually quite excited, and I therefore tuned in for Last of the Time Lords the next day. And boy, I was completely blown away. Then I caught repeats of Series 2, and then followed by the rest of Series 3, where this time I got to see all of Utopia, The Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords. Then soon afterwards, I then caught a repeat of the Tom Baker serial, Robot. And that couldn't have been better timed, because obviously that was Tom Baker's debut story. And then I saw some of his afterwards. Then, of course, I caught the initial broadcast of the Doctor Who Christmas special, Voyage of the Damned, making that the first brand new Doctor Who episode I ever got to see. And also on BBC One this time, because obviously that is more or less the home channel of Doctor Who here in the UK. Then after the new year, I started collecting Doctor Who DVDs. And I thought, where better to start than from the beginning, as it contains the very first 3 Doctor Who adventures, haha. And of course, since then I've been collecting many other Doctor Who DVDs, as well as Blu-rays. But of course, it's not just DVDs and Blu-rays I've been collecting. There are also Doctor Who books as well, as I like to do a bit of reading now and again. And yes, I know, there's my cats making a brief appearance. I couldn't resist the temptation to have my cats briefly appear in this video, even if it is for a still photo. And I also occasionally buy the official Doctor Who magazines. I don't buy all of them, but I've just bought the occasional few over the years. But one I did make sure not to miss out on was the official 500th issue, haha. And I also have a Doctor Who DVD files folder, even though I don't actually store DVDs in it, just some personal stuff of mine. And obviously I've been tuning into each new series and new episodes of Doctor Who since I became a fan, and I'll be getting excited each time. So, that's basically how I became a Whovian. But what has Doctor Who actually meant to me in these last 10 years? Well, around the time when I first started watching Doctor Who, I was actually feeling kind of tired and depressed. I just started a new year at college, where I was really struggling to cope with the course that I was on. But then, I tuned into BBC Three and watched Doctor Who repeats, as I've already pointed out. And as I was watching, I actually forgot all of my troubles and worries for a while, and I really got into the show. I just love the whole concept of the TARDIS, travelling through time and space, materialising on Earth in either the past or the present or the future. And the Doctor and his companions, have all sorts of adventures, fighting monsters, dealing with certain points in the timeline and, righting wrongs, and of course appearing on spaceships or space stations or colonies or whatever. So yeah, that's why I wish the TARDIS would materialise in our back garden or somewhere. So I could basically jump into the TARDIS, go off and have adventures with the Doctor, and escape the roughness of reality for a time. But unfortunately all we can do is dream. Anyway, then there's the whole concept of regeneration. I have to admit, during all those years when I didn't actually watch Doctor Who, I was actually quite curious as to how they actually changed the Doctor from one actor to another and keep continuity with the show. I did actually wonder, how did they manage that? But then when I learned the whole concept of regeneration, I was like, holy shit, they actually show the Doctor changing from one actor to another? That's incredible! And I think that's what got me into Doctor Who even more, because of this ingenious way of changing the Doctor from one actor to another and keeping continuity with the show. And I think that's what makes the show even more popular as well. And sure, it's okay to feel sad to see one Doctor leave, but at the same time feel excited for the new Doctor who's taking over. I mean, sure, you may feel slightly sceptical about the new actor who's taking over, because you're not really sure what they're going to be like, but then after you've actually seen them on screen, you either like them or you don't. I mean, I can only imagine how some people felt when Patrick Troughton took over from William Hartnell, because obviously that was the first time that they had to recast the Doctor to a new actor. But of course Patrick Troughton pulled it off, and so did all the other Doctors who followed. I'll get to my thoughts on Jodie Whittaker shortly. So anyway, because of the whole idea of regeneration, Doctor Who has gone on to become the world's longest running science fiction TV show, and also the most successful science fiction TV show by Guinness World Records. Ain't that cool? And as I pointed out earlier, whenever I watch Doctor Who, I always feel like I'm escaping the roughness of reality and entering this strange, magical fantasy world. I know, that sounds sad. Oh, in case you're wondering why I keep changing my clothes through this video, it's mainly because, I like to show off all of my different Doctor Who themed clothes that I have collected over the years, and also my scarves. This one was given to me by my mum and dad, and this one was actually handmade by a friend of mine who lives out in America, who is also a Whovian. She made this for me because the other scarf, which is meant to be the actual Fourth Doctor scarf, is obviously too long for me to wear outdoors, and I'm a bit worried that I might accidentally trip up on it or something. But this one is much shorter, so I don't have to worry about tripping up on it when I go out. Oh, and there's also my Doctor Who trousers, pyjama trousers, which was actually given to me as a Christmas present by my friend's mother, which is quite nice. And my friend also sent me the longer scarf, in case you were wondering who sent me this one. And just like the scarf I just showed you, she sent me this one as a gift too, which is very nice. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, I've had quite a lot to say here, which is the reason for all these edit cuts and changing into different clothes. It just would have been too much really to try and cram everything into one take. So, as for my thoughts on Jodie Whittaker becoming the first female Doctor, Just kidding! I'm actually excited for Jodie, and I do wish people would give her a chance before judging her. I mean, I can understand some people being unhappy about the Doctor becoming a female, as he's always been a male since Doctor Who first started in 1963. But then they've already established that Time Lords can change gender with the Master becoming Missy. And if you look at the 13th Doctor article on Wikipedia, it turns out that the whole idea of the Doctor becoming a female actually dates back a lot further than you think. Even one of the show's original creators, Sidney Newman, once hinted the idea of the Doctor becoming a female way back in 1986. So, if one of Doctor Who's original creators had even thought of the idea of the Doctor being able to change gender, well, I certainly can't argue with that. And while I personally haven't actually seen Jodie Whittaker in anything she's been in, like Venus, Attack the Block, an episode of Black Mirror, Broadchurch and other stuff she's been in, I did, however, check out the BBC drama series Trust Me, which came on quite recently. I mainly checked that out just to see what Jodie's acting was like, and boy, I sure loved her performance in that. I mean, she may not necessarily portray the Doctor that way when she starts Doctor Who, but we're just going to have to wait and see, won't we? And while I haven't actually seen the whole play, I have seen bits of Antigone, which was a play that Jodie took part in at the National Theatre, where she actually appeared alongside former Doctor Christopher Eccleston. Ooh, two Doctors appearing on stage together, fancy that. So yeah, I haven't actually seen the whole play, I've only seen bits of it on YouTube. But what I saw of Jodie's performance there, my initial thought was, she is the Doctor. So yep, Jodie has my support no matter what the outcome will be. Oh, and yes, I know, here is my Doctor Who dressing gown. I couldn't resist the temptation to show this off as well. Oh, and while I think about it, this is one of my other pyjama trousers. And I don't know about you, but to me this kind of looks a bit like Second Doctor Patrick Troughton's baggy trousers, which he wore to start off with. I mean, they probably don't look anything like them, but I don't know, to me they just kind of remind me of them. Oh, while I remember it, I've just had a delivery from Amazon. What could this be? Let's open it up and find out. Come on, come on, come on, come on. The suspense is killing me. Oh, look! Another Doctor Who DVD! The Hand of Fear! Haha! I've been waiting a long time for this one, as it's Sarah Jane Smith's final classic story. Even though she does later come back in The Five Doctors, and then of course we all know what comes after that. But not before she appears in the pilot episode for the spin-off series that never was, K9 and Company. Anyway, I shall put on the Hand of Fear later. Anyway, it looks like we could be in for a long wait until we actually get to see how Jodie does as the Doctor, as it doesn't look like Series 11 will be coming until autumn next year. Well, if that is the case, I'm willing to wait until then. At least we've got the upcoming Christmas special Twice Upon a Time to look forward to first. Oh yeah! Well, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm sorry if you didn't find this video very interesting. I just simply wanted to share with you all what Doctor Who has meant to me this past decade, and give my personal thoughts on the show. Oh, I have also seen the spin-off shows, well, all except K9. But I'll probably get into all that some other time. Oh, I almost forgot. Doctor Who has also gotten me into loving jelly babies again. I used to have them when I was a kid, but I stopped having them for some reason. Don't know why, but let's open them up. Is there an orange one in here? Yay! Yay, they got an orange one, which is the Fourth Doctor's favourite colour jelly baby. Oh, and in case you haven't already figured it out, or you probably already have, the Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, is my favourite Doctor. Anyway. Would you like a jelly baby? Well, I'm going to have one. I'll have some more later. So anyway, I probably won't be uploading any more videos onto YouTube anytime soon, as I don't really upload videos that often. I'll probably upload something around Christmas time, possibly. So if I don't upload any more videos onto YouTube before then, then I shall see you all at Christmas. Or if for some reason I don't upload any more videos at Christmas, then I shall wish you all now Merry Christmas. Bye!
Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go again. Me being put through more shit.
Me too. Why can't this be considered animal abuse? Just end this video already. There, I'm gonna eat the TARDIS. Yum yum yum.